Misunderstandings that can occur in cultural competence in research. Correcting misperceptions. Why challenges occur. Despite the importance of cultural competence in research, its full integration in the conduct of research faces several challenges. Foremost is the underestimation and often misunderstanding of what it takes to ensure trust and understanding in diverse individuals participating in research. Correcting misperceptions. The following items are common misperceptions about the challenges researchers face when conducting research with cultural competence. Each item is followed by a clarifying statement that resolves any area of confusion or misunderstanding. Some common misperceptions. Cultural competence is not that important because there are only a few minorities in the U.S. In actuality, the U.S. consensus tells us that current minorities will make up the majority of the population in 2040. Once we've designed the study and obtained the funding, we'll hire a minority research assistant who will help with recruiting minorities. While a diverse research team can be a valuable component for the recruitment of minority patients, considerations about cultural sensitivity are important and are better addressed at the study design and the budget process stages. I don't need to be concerned about cultural competence because my research doesn't involve interaction with study subjects. Research-driven health interventions are more likely to be successful when they are culturally sensitive and congruent and take into consideration the diverse target populations for which they may be designed. My basic or preclinical research doesn't directly apply to diverse communities, so this doesn't really apply to me. Although some research may not hold immediate clinical relevance or application to practice, such studies do lay the scientific foundation for research that develops treatments or directly influences health interventions. It's important that early phase studies build an understanding of and take into account the differences that can be attributed to race, gender, age, and other cultural factors. Once we have designed our study and obtained the research funding needed, then we'll be able to dedicate the appropriate amount of time and effort required to do a good job at identifying and recruiting minorities for participation in our study. Engaging diverse communities in research requires building trust, and just as importantly, understanding that can be developed only over time. The inclusion of diverse study subjects should occur early in the study development process to increase cultural congruence of study methods and the likelihood of success in study recruitment and retention. Now, some final common misperceptions. Cultural competency is a new concept, and it will interfere with how we currently conduct research. In reality, federal guidelines on inclusion of women and minorities in clinical research were established back in 1994. These requirements, which are now updated regularly, dramatically changed how research was designed and implemented in the 1990s and will continue to shape the way we conduct research in the future. My research deals with a disease that affects mostly non-Hispanic whites, so this doesn't really apply to me. Even in a disease affecting proportionately more Caucasian patients than minorities, the inclusion of minority patients is important both scientifically, to explore the role of race and ethnicity on disease susceptibility, and to fulfill the ethical requirement of just conduct of research.